Hi dear students, welcome to Study of Science. In this session, you're going to learn about the next cell organelle, plastids. You're going to learn about plastids. Then, what are plastids? Plastids are a membrane-bound organelle. Why do we call it as membrane-bound organelle? It is because it is covered by the membrane. We have seen the nucleus. Nucleus was covered by the membrane, right? Similarly, the plastids are also covered by the membrane. It is covered by the membrane. Hence, we call it as a membrane-bound organelle. As it is covered by the membrane, it is clearly visible. Plastids are clearly visible. And these plastids, they are present only in the plant cell. They do not have any kind of activity to perform in the animal cell. Hence, they are absent in the animal cell. Plastids are only present in the plant cell. Clear? So, plastids, they also have their own DNA and ribosomes. Then if they have own DNA and ribosomes, what is the role of ribosomes there? Ribosomes, they help in synthesis of proteins. We have studied this in the mitochondria as well, right? Ribosomes, they help in the synthesis of protein. Clear? The plastids have their own DNA as well as their own ribosomes. Now let us talk about the types of plastids. When I talk about the types of plastids, the plastids are mainly classified into two types. They are classified into two types. The first one is the chromoplast. The first one is the chromoplast and the second one is the leucoplast. It is leucoplast. Then let's first understand about the chromoplast. Students, chromoplasts are basically the colored plastids. The name chromoplast suggests for the colored plastids because they contain the pigments which carries the color in it. See, the chromoplasts are basically the colored plastids because they contain the pigments which carry the color in it. Clear? Now let us understand about the types of colored pigments which are present in the chromoplast. As I told you, they are the colored plastids. Let us understand the pigments, colored pigment which is present in the chromoplast. The first type of the colored pigment is called as the chloroplast. It is called as the chloroplast. See, we have often heard about this word called chloroplast. What are these chloroplasts? Chloroplasts are the colored pigments. They contain green color in it. Chloroplasts are the colored pigment. They colored green color pigment which is called as the chlorophyll. Don't confuse. Chloroplast contains the green colored pigment which is called as the chlorophyll. And this chlorophyll enables the plants to look green in color. We have seen most of the plant's parts are green in color. The leaves, stems and other parts of the plants are green in color, right? It is because of the presence of the chloroplast. Because the chloroplast contain the color pigment, green colored pigment which is called as chlorophyll, and this chlorophyll will enable the plant to look green in color. And another important function of the chlorophyll is it involves in the process of photosynthesis. Students, I hope you all are aware about photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process. It is a process where the green plants manufacture their own food, right? For this process, the chlorophyll also involves. It plays a major role in the process of photosynthesis. These chromoplasts, they also contain the colored pigment. What kind of color pigments it contain? It contains yellow color and the orange color pigments. Okay, it contains both yellow or the orange pigments. Clear? So this is all about the first type of the plastid, that is the chromoplast. Now let us understand about the second type of the plastid, that is the leucoplast. See, leucoplasts are the non-colored plastids. That means they do not have the colored pigments in it. They are the non-colored plastid. They do not have color. They are the colorless pigments. Clear? Then what is the function of leucoplast? Leucoplast, it stores the starch, oils and the protein granules. It stores the starch, oil and the protein granules. Now, We have completed understanding the two types of plastids. Which are the two types? Chromoplast and the leucoplast. Correct? Now, let us understand the structure of chloroplast. Students, if we look at the structure of chloroplast, we can find a matrix-like material inside. We can find a matrix-like material inside the chloroplast. Do you remember? There was a matrix-like material inside the nucleus, which is called as nucleoplasm. And there was a matrix-like material inside the cell called as cytoplasm. Similarly, here inside the cytoplasm, there is a matrix-like material. And we call this matrix as stroma. We call this matrix as stroma. Inside this chloroplast, we can also observe a disc-like structures. We can also observe the disc-like structures. And this disc-like structures are called as thylakoid. It is called as thylakoid. So, we can find so many such disc-like structures which are arranged one above the another. If you look at this chloroplast, you can see the disc-like structures which is called as thylakoid. And these disc-like structures are many in number. They are arranged one above the another. They are arranged one above the another, which looks like a bundle. It looks like a bundle, and this bundle is called as granum. It is called as granum. What did we understand? We understood that there is a matrix inside the chloroplast, correct? What do we call that matrix as? We call that matrix as stroma. We call that matrix as stroma. Next, we have seen there is a disc-like structure inside the chloroplast. And the disc-like structure, it is called as the thylakoid. And there are so many such discs which are present one above the another, which looks like a bundle. It looks like a bundle, and these bundles are called as granum. It is called as granum. Students, we can also find many such grana inside the chloroplast. Granum is single, grana is plural. We can find many such grana inside the chloroplast, and they are connected to each other. One grana is connected to another. They are connected to each other by the bundle. They are connected to each other by the bundle. Okay? So now the important question is, where is this chlorophyll present? We have understood there is matrix, there is thylakoid, there is a grana. Then what about chlorophyll? See, chlorophyll is present on the surface of the disc-like structures called as thylakoid. We have seen the thylakoids, right? They are the disc-like structures. On the surface of this thylakoid, the chlorophyll is present. It is present on the surface of the thylakoid. Clear? Now, let's understand the functions of the plastids. See, when I talk about the functions of the plastids, let us talk about the chloroplast first. See, chloroplast, it gives the color to the plants. It gives color to the stem. It gives color to the leaves, right? And this chloroplast, it helps in the photosynthesis process as well. What about chromoplast? Chromoplast, they help in imparting the color to the flower and fruits because they have yellow or orange color. You might have seen that strawberries, oranges, they are all having the colors, right? These colors are because of the presence of chromoplast. It is because of the chromoplast, because the chromoplast, it imparts, it sends or gives the color to the flower as well as the fruits. Okay? Chloroplast gives the color to the plants. It gives the green color to the plants, to the stems, to the leaves. And it also helps in the photosynthesis, whereas the chromoplast helps in imparting the yellow and orange color to the flowers and the fruits. Okay? Then finally, the another one is the leucoplast. Leucoplast stores the food in the plants. What kind of food it stores? It stores the starch, it stores the oils, it also stores the protein granules. Clear? Finally, let's summarize. So, we have studied about a cell organelle called plastids. So, when I talk about the plastids, they are present only in the plant cells. Correct? And these plastids, they have the DNA and the ribosomes. Because of this, they synthesize the proteins. They synthesize their own proteins. Correct? And we understood about two types of plastids. One is chromoplast and another one is the leucoplast. And we have understood the chromoplasts are the colored plastids because they are giving the color to the parts of the plant. Under chromoplast, we have learned the chloroplast, which provides the green color, and we also learned about the chromoplast, which gives yellow or orange color. And we have learned about leucoplast, which was called as the colorless plastids. They are the colorless plastids. They do not give any kind of color to the parts of the plant. Instead, they store the starch, oil, and the protein granules. I hope I made very clear about this concept called plastids. If you like this video, you can share with your friends. And if you have not subscribed to my channel till now, kindly subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell notification. That's all for this session. I'm signing off. Thank you.